All right, guys, good evening, and thank you so much for being here. First of all, thank you for seeing my content because you've been seeing my content before you decided to join. Yes, so thank you so much for seeing that, for resonating with it, and for wanting me to work with you on this financial journey. I am glad to be doing this with you. So I actually did something similar in April. That was like the first cohort of this financial wellness camp, and it was for free. It was during fasting period. People joined, few people turned up, and it was more of webinars, right? That was what I did. And then during that period, I kind of like realized that there was a gap between what we consume and what we implement. Most times we consume content, but we don't implement it. And it will not allow, you will not see results that way. You will not see as much results. So I'm like, this time around, I want to be able to work with people one-on-one. And that's part of the reason why it has to come at a fee, because I'm going to be dedicating my time. I want to be able to go all out. I don't want a situation whereby 1 month later, a few weeks later, I feel like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, because currently I'm a full-time student, right? So I wanted something that will be able to work with you more closely, and that was why. And I also wanted it to be like a short class, not too many people at a time. So to everyone on this call, thank you so much for signing up. So please, we have reactions button. You can react, you can drop comments. But most importantly, I'm going to be sharing my screen now so that we can get started. All right. Okay, a minute. Wait. Just a minute. We up here. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Yes. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to pose it to presentation, but Elizabeth, welcome. Glad to have you here. All right, so we're not much
Thank
on
you.
this call, and we're going to get to a part where I want everybody to introduce themselves. So we're going to get to that in a few minutes. So everyone that joined, welcome. So it's officially the 4 weeks financial wellness bootcamp. I'm very particular about calling it financial wellness, right? Not financial literacy or anything. It's about like your well-being, your financial
Okay, is
satisfaction.
there no way I can connect my AirPod?
I can hear you. We're talking.
Sorry.
No problem. And I call it a boot camp because I want us to like work together, right? We're going to have one-on-one sessions. So it's more or less like a boot camp, not webinar, not master classes. It's a boot camp. And the goal is for you to like take control of your finances ahead of 2024. You know, the thing about New Year is you want to do new goals, you want to do a lot of things in the new year. So it's important for you to like review your financial well-being, where you are financially, and so that you can now start implementing things going forward. You know, one thing about New Year is you will set new goals. If you don't have the goals by New Year, it will become February. Or you want to start in January can enter February. But it's good for you to like have those goals ready. So that you know that okay, now it's implementation. So I want to like bring you to bring you up to date to the things that can help you achieve your financial goals, right? So that is why it's a boot camp. And you already know the brand, it's Money Chats with Absat, yes. So let's go. I want to start with a short program outline. I'm sure you've seen it in the brochure, but the first thing we're doing today is like an introduction. I'll introduce myself, you all will introduce yourselves. And then we're going to look at our bootcamp goals. I already shared the link in the morning. So if you've not filled it, please fill it. It's very important. We're going to do that too right now on this call. Then on today's session, we're going to understand our current financial situation. I'm going to tell you mine. You're going to tell me mine. This is an intimate session, please. A very intimate session. And then we're going to do the major thing that brought us here today. Today, we're talking about budgeting. and I provided you with a tool. I will show you how to use that tool. I will show you how I use mine. We're going to look at mine. In fact, we're going to create my budget for November together. And then I'm going to, the task at the end of today's event session is where you're going to book a one-on-one review session. That's like item number 5. After that, our next class, which is next weekend, is about expenses and debt management. We're going to look at how to eliminate wasteful habits that can affect your financial well-being. On upper week, that's the 3rd week, we're going to be looking at savings and investment. Now, in this webinar, I'm inviting somebody, a colleague, a banker, that is going to be talking to us about like investments, right? So yes, we are having a guest. You don't want to miss it. And then the final session we are having is about goal setting. Goal is very important. I'll show you how I create my own financial goals, and you're going to create yours. And then I am going to review it with you one by one. Everybody is going to book separate review sessions. So it's not a group review session, it's a personal review session. And then finally, we're going to talk about our book review and the follow-up after our session. Guys, please a second. Jamila is calling. Maybe she's having a problem with joining. Hello, Jamila. Yeah. Zoom link. Give me a minute. Yes, I'll send it to you. Guys, sorry for the interruption. Please let me, I don't know, can someone please just drop the Zoom link in the group chat and tag Jamila to it, please? Please, somebody should help me do that. Thank you. All right, so I hope we are together. Please, you can use your mic anytime. Let me know that we are together, because now I can't see everybody because I'm presenting.
Yes, I'm with you.
Thank you so much. So this is literally our program outline, right? So now let's proceed. So it's important for you guys to meet your financial wellness mentor, which is me. And I just want to say a little bit about myself. You guys know me as Afsat. That is my name, Afsat Timileyin Itola. I am Yoruba. I am Nigerian. I'm a Muslim. And I'm a chartered accountant. So I have a background in accounting. My BSc was in accounting. And then I started my ICANN certification. I qualified. I'm a chartered accountant. I got my certificates last 2 years now. Oh, wow. Time is flying. And I like to call myself a financial educator because I educate about, I promote financial literacy. I like to simplify accounting concepts for everybody so that you can use it in your personal life. It's not just about companies keeping financial record. You as an individual, you should understand your finances. This is something that you either face now or you face later, right? And I'm sure you're wondering what inspired this. To be honest, it's not because I am an accountant, I have an accounting background. It was because I I went outside of my comfort zone. So there was this statistics I saw recently that said women, youth, people in the northern part of Nigeria are the less financially included. And to be honest, I fit into that category. I'm a lady. I'm in the north. I was staying in the northern part of Nigeria. I'm a youth again. I'm a young person. Where do I want to see the resources to leave Kano State and go somewhere else? But I was staying at a job, and I kind of I felt like, no, I don't want to continue doing this, right? And I wanted more for myself. So I was like, okay, we're moving to Lagos. I know you're afraid of Lagos, but you go to Lagos. Lagos is stressful and all of that. But I decided to go there. And when I got there, I realized that the cost of living there was more than I could envision. I saw 2 categories of people that are living lavish lifestyle with money that they do not have, and then few people that were living within their means. So I wanted to fall into that category of somebody that was staying in Lagos and living legitimately, like no fake life. We're not doing fake life, God forbid. I don't want to go back to where I was coming from. And so that was how I started tracking my finances. And I remember then I'm very active on LinkedIn. My presence is on LinkedIn, right? So I will create budgeting template and I'll share it on LinkedIn, and people on LinkedIn. Jamila, welcome. Khadijat is supposed to be on this call. She hasn't joined yet. But she will go through the recording, hopefully. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Anyway, so I was in Lagos and I realized that I want to take care of my finances. I don't want to live fake life like other people. And so I started sharing expense trackers, and then people will also make use of it. And that was how I started like talking about personal finance. I realized that a lot of people are not really financially literate. They don't really understand what it means to be financially responsible. So that was what inspired it, not because I was an accountant, but it just made it easier for me. I had the credentials, I had the guidance, I know what it means to create budget and all of that. So that's how I started doing. And it's something that I have been doing for about 2 years now. Like, I can't believe it, but yes, for about 2 years now. We've gone just beyond me just talking about it to having a brand, Money Chat with Afsat. I'm on YouTube, everywhere. In fact, I'm on TikTok now. I just joined recently and I'm making a huge progress there. And it's because of you all, not just because of myself, right? So I hope we are together.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much. Sorry, some of our class members. So,
Please, can you help me be more audible? Because I'm struggling.
oh, really? Sorry about
Yes.
that. Let me increase my.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, wow. I am actually speaking at the top of my voice.
Okay, it's better now.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I've kind of like introduced myself, right? The goal is for you to be able to do what you want. You have your own financial goal and you should be able to achieve your financial goal. We all have our financial goal. And the idea is money is never enough. You have to just make use of what you have. And that's what I try to advocate. I try to make you understand that it's never enough. I remember people will say, oh, when I start earning 1 million naira, I will do more with it. It's a lie, oh. It's a lie. Since we started working, our income has increased. What more have we done? So you have to find a way where there is no even way, right? So basically, that's all I'm going to share about myself. Now, I want to talk about like my favorite money quote that inspires me. So this is from The Richest Man in Babylon. It says, ahead of you stretches your future like a road leading into the distance. And along that road are ambitions that you wish to accomplish and your own desires that you wish to gratify. But to bring all of this to fulfillment, to make them happen, you must be successful with money. Like, this really resonates with me. Like, we all have goals, we have things we want to do, but you need money. You need to be successful with money. Bolanle, you're muted. Sorry, you're muted. So I resonate with this, and it's what inspires me. It is what pushes me to do better with my money. But then there is another quote that I like. There is another quote that I like. And this one is from the book we're going to be reviewing. Yes, The Psychology of Money. So what this says is a genius is a man that can do the average thing when everyone around him is losing his mind. Now, why did I add this? I add this because of the current climate in Nigeria. The cost of living is high. There is inflation, everything. So right now, you tell people, oh, budget, oh, save, oh, manage your expenses. They're like, I beg, that is not it. But to be honest, this is like the average thing to do now. This is what you need to do. Like, it is basic. Keep doing it. So while everybody are anky-panky everywhere, your finances is all around everywhere, you just do that average thing. That thing that I think is bullshit. Do it, honestly. It's the simplest thing at times that simplify things for you. So a genius is a man that can do the average thing when everyone around them is losing their mind. This is how I choose to interpret it. And I hope you guys can resonate with that. I hope we're together. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
You're okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope I'm not too fast.
No, you're not.
Thank you. All right. So now it's your turn. I'm flipping it back to you guys. I've introduced myself and I want you to introduce yourself. So it can be very simple, maybe your name, where you are currently, and maybe your money goal or anything you want to share basically. And I would love if we can show our video. I hope I'm not asking for too much. Do we want to show our face? All right, so we're going to start. I'm going to pick, everybody's going to talk, so better volunteer and go first. Elizabeth, you're muted.
So my name is Shonira Falashade Elizabeth.
All right, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm from Ogun State. Yeah.
All
What
right.
again? What again am I supposed to say?
Your money goal, basically, or what you want to learn here. Although you're still going to write down, but you can still share you want to share.
Okay, I basically want to learn how to save up money to achieve like a major big goal, like a very large expense that
Okay.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, that works. Thank you so much for introducing yourself, Elizabeth.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so Jamila, you raised your hand. Can you please go next?
Good evening, everybody. My name is
Good
Jamila.
evening.
I am currently in Abuja, and my money goal is to get enough saving where I can get emergency funds or
Very
emergency
important.
reason. Yeah.
Yep. It's very, very important in this economy. Thank you so much for sharing. Who wants to go next? Ifunaya, Aisha, Abdulmalik. We are plenty of this column. Aisha, okay, you're up.
Hi, can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Aisha. Apologies for the whatever here. But yeah, sorry, my name is Aisha Abubakar, and I'm from Ocean State, Nigeria. My money goal is to be a money woman, of course.
I love the energy.
No. And I can't be a money woman if I cannot track my expenses, track my
That's
spending,
true.
and
That's
then
true.
also make sure that I'm investing in the right places. So yeah, those are my goals.
Yep. That's very, very important. Thank you so much for turning on your camera. Please, guys,
You're welcome.
get that solidarity. Abdulmalik, do you want to go next? Ifunaya.
Sure.
Okay, Abdulmalik is
Can
up.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Abdulmalik. I'm from Osun State too. And I would love to at least my expenses and I say my expenses, my income and everything, how to manage it better than the way I've been doing it before.
That's good. You're covered. You're in the right space. You're in the right space.
Thank
I'm
you.
not feeling anyhow. You think there are no guys here? We have Yusuf. Yusuf is also on the call. You get? I think he's having network issues. So don't worry. Money is gender neutral. So Ifunaya, you are next.
Good evening, everyone.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm Dr. Aguhalam Prosper Ifunaya, and I am from Imo State. I recently graduated from the University of Port Harcourt. So, as a recent graduate, I want to be able to track my finances very well and be a financial literate generally. So that's it.
Okay, that's nice. You're in the right space. Shaada, we have you on the call as well. Please introduce yourself. Hello, Shaada, or you can't talk where you are. Okay, so I think she can't take a call where she is. Guys, please give me a minute.
Sorry, good evening. I'm sorry, I'm unable to turn on my camera because I'm in transit and it's a bit dark. My name is Sada, speaking from Lagos, and my money goal would be to get better with budgeting. Yeah, thank you.
All right, we got you covered. Guys, don't mind her. She's hiding. No, she's my friend, though. Guys, sorry I picked the call earlier. It's a class member, Khadija. She's not been able to join the call. I think she's trying to join now. Bolanle too is currently off. She's going to come and introduce herself. We also have Yusuf on the call. I think he's having network issues. He's also going to join and introduce himself. Khadija, can you talk now? I think she's in transit.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening.
name's Khadija Kabir Bello, a mother, a
Oh,
worker, and which one should I say?
and a friend.
And a friend. I'm so glad to be on this talk. I hope that by the end of this 4-week session, I'll be able to manage my finance accountably.
Yes.
We earn money, but most times we don't really know where the money is
Where
going
the
to. At
money
the end
is
of the
going,
day,
right?
it's like we're trying to calculate back and we can't really remember all the spendings that we've made. But hopefully, at the end of this course, I should be religious, not just knowing what to do, but religiously doing it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for the introduction. You see that word, religiously follow, it's important. Like I said earlier, we learn these things, we consume content, but to practice it is a different ball game, right? So I'm open to imbibe that culture in you all. To be honest, it's something you face. If you don't face it now, you still face it later. You see a lot of issue about, okay, for instance, let's say married people, you see them talking about finances all the time. You see the husband that is managing the finances or the wife or together. So financial literacy is gender neutral, it's for everybody, it's applicable to everyone. Money affects every area of our life. When you don't have money, the first thing, you are sad, you are angry, you're exhausted, you start thinking of your life. It transfers to other areas, many areas of our life, which is very important for us to tackle this topic. So the next thing we want to do is, okay, let me escape a bit. I think it's ceased. Let me reshare. So I shared a Google link earlier today. I was like, you should write your goals, right? So please, we have to do that. Why is this season? Canva, why are you like this afternoon? Sorry guys, 1 minute. Canva is season. Okay, it's back up. So I shared a link earlier in the email I sent, and there is a form that I want us to fill. So now that form is meant to keep us accountable. I'm sure you guys have shared your goals here, but I want to be able to go over it, right? So I provided the link. It's currently in the group right now. Let me write it. Let me tag it again so that if you missed it, you can check it. So that you can please fill the form. So that way we can go over it at the end, because we're going to do like a beginning, you say your goal, at the end, you talk about what you've learned and all of that. So please, this is the form. About 4 people have filled their form and they've shared that with me. I love that. I'm also taking attendance because, like I said, there's a reward for the 3 most active people. What I want is for us to practice these things that we are learning, right? And we should be able to have a benchmark. So please, specify your goal for the bootcamp via that link. I'm going to be going over it. So now let's move forward. Now I want to start talking about what financial wellness is and why it matters. So I did a survey a few months back. I did a survey because I'm trying to work on a financial app. But I did a survey, and the first thing I like asking is, how satisfied are you with your financial well-being? I got about 206 responses. And 51% of the people that feel this say they are unsatisfied. The remaining 40% said somewhat satisfied. Somewhat satisfied is like you're shaking. It's tilting to unsatisfied. Very few people, 7.5% say they are very satisfied. And that's it. And it's subjective. It could be because of your money. It could be because of your expenses, a lot of factors. But the thing is, a lot of people are saying they are not financially satisfied. Now, you might think the numbers are small, right? 106 people. Okay, maybe they are not a good representation. So there is another survey that was done by, oh God, the name has run away from my head. But there's this big financial literacy organization in Nigeria, FINA. They did this survey in 2023, thereabouts. And this is it, the similar statistics. Only 16% of people as of 2023 say they have high financial health, only 16%. So which means a lot of people say they are not financially satisfied with their whether their income or what. And recently, Piggyverse also did a survey. A lot of people saying their income has gone low, they don't have money, this, that one. So a lot of people are not satisfied with their financial well-being. Now, this is subjective. And I want to always tell you that it's not necessarily about how much you have. But when you have, for instance, 100,000 and you make the best use of that 100,000, you will feel somewhat of well-being. You feel some level of satisfaction, knowing that you made the best use of that resources. So it is something that you can be achieving as you're progressing in your financial life, right? That is what I want. And it's when you adopt financial practices that you'll be feeling better. So basically, this is it here. So why is it fast? So financial well-being has to do with how financially satisfied you are. And like I said, it's not a factor of how much you have. It's about what you've been able to do with what you have. When you make the best use of the minimum you have, there's this satisfaction, there's this relief you feel, there's this clarity you feel, and it makes you more stable. We are stressed, we're exposed to a lot of issues, right? So you want to be balanced, right? So it has to do with making informed and responsible financial decisions, managing your resources. So if you want to feel somewhat more satisfied about your financial well-being, if you're accountable, that is the starting point. So I want us to also look at our current financial situation. And I'm going to give you a way to analyze that, a way to figure that. So I like to split it into 3 categories. And the first one is financially unstable. So when you say you're financially unstable, forget the word, forget that, or stable or whatever, but it's just trying to say that there's a chance that maybe you're still depending on maybe your family members for income. Maybe you don't pay your bills on time. You borrow all the time to meet your day-to-day needs. It's a sign of instability to some extent. When you don't set goals for yourself, financial goals, you don't set goals, I want to do this, I want to do that, is a sign of financial instability. And the worst case scenario is to live above your means. When you're living above your means, your expense is always going to be higher than your income. You're unstable that way. You cannot handle financial shocks and all of that, right? So that's like the danger zone. We do not want to be in that phase. Now, as we move across the ladder or across the map, we get to a point where we are financially stable. Now, somebody that is in this phase literally has like a source of income. You have a source of income. You have salary or money from business or stipend. Like me, I'm a student now, I'm receiving stipend. That is it. You have debt, but it's manageable. You can pay it. They don't need to come and be calling your village people before you pay money, right? So that is one. And then maybe you have some level of investment or savings. It could be little, it could be significant. And then you have financial goals. And you're also financially disciplined. Now, to be sincere, this is the phase where I want to take a lot of people to. Because most people are still down in the low side, most of us, and we are shaking. We've not even balanced very well in the stable phase before we can now move to the next phase. Now, that next phase is the future goal for Money Chat with Hafsat. Every one of us, inshallah, we're going to grow together to that phase. But the most important, we need to feel very financially stable. So, and then the final phase is about where we talk about financial independence. You want to be able to do the things that you want to do. You want to be able to work, not because you need to work, but you want to work. It's a reality that we can create for ourselves. I'm not trying to sound too ambitious, but it's feasible. It is possible. You can have medium to long-term investment, and you have that's a keyword, satisfactory lifestyle, because it is subjective. What is satisfactory to you might not be satisfactory to me. But if for you, that lifestyle is satisfactory, then we can say you've achieved your level of financial independence. So I want us to be very honest. I want us to share, where do we think we are currently? Where do we think we are? Do you think you're in phase 1, you're in phase 2, or you think you're in phase 3? That's the goal, right? To be financially independent. Okay, I see Jamila is already talking of future goals. That's very good. So where are we right now? Yeah, in phase 0.01. Oh my goodness. So please drop it in the comment. We are not much on this call, please. We have to be engaging, right? So where are we? Personally, I am in phase 2. I am in phase 2. So yeah, please, if you like, please don't allow me to close my eyes. We are in phase 2. Good, good. Okay, we are making progress. That is good. Now, the thing about these phases is there is always room for growth, right? If we solidify where we are, it will be easier for us to progress to the next phase. We want to get to the next phase. There are habits, there are things that you will do that will take you from phase 2 to phase 3. And when we come to do that, we will imbibe that. So I want to give like a little, this is a general financial trajectory. I want to share some of my own progress. I want to share some of my own progress, some of my journey with you guys. And I want to start from 2021. I would say in 2021, I was still financially dependent because I was staying with my parents. I was serving. I even came back to Kano so that I can stay at home. And then I was also doing my ICANN then, but surprisingly, during that period, I had few money. I was earning just like 30K. I finished service. I got a job that I stayed there for a few months and I saved money and I used that money to do 2 major things. I remember I went to learn how to bake cake because I wanted to do it for my personal consumption, not for sales, although I sold it at some point. But I also used that money to start my MSc in accounting. I used it to buy my registration form, use it to pay my school fees. It was a funny experience, but it was the little I gathered from there and from my workplace where I was earning less than 100K. I was able to invest in myself. So investing in myself is something that I've always been doing, right? Now let's progress. In 2022, I went back to actually the same company and I was still earning less than 100K. That was after my MSc coursework. And I was still earning less than 100K. I was there for a while. And after a while, I was like, no, I'm not seeing a good career trajectory there. I remember that day, I looked at some of my boss one particular day and I was like, there was somebody that was celebrating their 12th-year anniversary in that job. And it didn't show me a future presentation of where I wanted to be. So I was like, no, you cannot come and change the culture in this company. It's either you stay there and conform or you move forward. So I was like, no, you're going to move forward. And that was when I spoke about wanting to leave Lagos, to move to Lagos. I was like, you've stayed too long in Kano. All your life you're in Kano. It's about time you went outside your comfort zone. And it was the little savings I saved again, earning less than 100K that I used to pay for my transport from Kano to Lagos for my final interview. And I finally got that job. So I reinvested in myself. I did not go and buy Asoebi bags and all of that. No, I put it back into me. So I moved to Lagos. Now, as of 2023, oh, I made a mistake. It's not supposed to be graduate training FMCG. It's supposed to be a bank. So I got a job at a bank, head office for that matter. God is wonderful. When you put your mind to something, it happens, right? And I was earning, to be honest, I times 3 my income. I was earning above, I think about 250 to 70 thereabout. Right now, I will have gone far, but I moved from there. So I stayed there for a while, but then I realized that I wasn't really enjoying my role. I wanted to explore more areas within accounting and finance. I wanted to give myself more time, buy more time to figure out what I want. And it also made me do more with Money Chat with Afsat. So during that period, I remembered I got to an apartment. I saved a lot during that period. I got my first apartment. I over 1.5 million trying to get an apartment, furnishing everything. Now, during that period, there were a lot of side talks. I remember then my neighbors would be like, after go and buy air conditioner. I said, I don't need an air conditioner. You should leave. Oh, after you're a banker, why are you looking like this? Oh, you're so stingy. You don't have this. I did not, because I had like a direction. I had something I was working towards. And to be honest, if I did not reinvest in myself, I would have not been able to move from where I was. I had people that I know that stayed in Lagos for so long. I was telling them, oh, move from, for instance, Ikorodu. To even go outside Ikorodu, they said they will not go outside. But I took a bold step of moving from Kano down to Lagos. And to be honest, within less than 2 years, I've left Lagos too. It didn't just happen coincidentally. It was because I wanted something. I was looking for something. And when that opportunity came, the only reason I could take that was because I was saving money. I started 2023 with a road to 1 million. I said I was going to start saving 1 million naira. I wasn't certain what I would use that money for. I knew I would use it to do some cost. I did not know that was the year I was going to get a scholarship. I was thinking, oh, in 2024, I will get to the scholarship. But because I was preparing, I was praying towards it, and I was planning towards it, it actually happened, and it helped me finance my journey. Now you say, what is 100,000 naira savings or 200,000? To be honest, that was all I needed. I remember then I had to pay for flight about 600,000. It was just the exact amount I needed. I had to buy laptop. I have to buy so much. It wasn't too much, but if I started with the mindset that I needed 10 million to japa, I probably would have not started saving or do anything. But I was able to move, right? And currently, I'm here. This is 2024. I'm currently doing another master's. I know I mentioned I was doing an MSc. I did not do my research defense. That's you know how Nigeria can be. So I still have that, but then I'm here doing my master's. And right now, I'm not even earning more. In fact, I'm earning less than I was earning while I was in bank. During this period, some of my colleagues have even gotten promoted. I'm supposed to be sitting on money. But in fact, a few months before I traveled, I knew they were going to do a promotion. I was like, I don't want money to influence the decisions that I make. And this is something a lot of Nigerians are into. Before you make any decision, you look at the money. You stay on a job that you don't like because of the money. You stay in a relationship you don't like because of the money. So many things like that because of the money. I knew they were going to promote me. I already did the assessment, everything. But I said, no, if that more salary should enter before I leave, I will not accept my admission. So I left. I said, I don't want money to start influencing the decision because I want to empower myself. I said, no, once I reinvest in myself, I will get that money by God's grace. As far as I'm an asset, I will get that money. So I left the job for where I was earning less than my current salary. I'm earning less than 200K. In fact, it's because of exchange rates. It used to feel like 200K right now. And I'm okay. I am fine. I'm living here where I am and stuff like that. And even during this period, I did not just spend all of my stipend. I was using the money. I used the money to start CFA examination. CFA examination is what a lot of finance people want to do. Most of us cannot do. You pay in dollars. You need about, let's say, like 1.5 million. Right now, about 3 million left to even write the first level exam. But I applied for a scholarship. They gave me discount, but I still had to save money. Ordinary calculator was 100,000 naira. I did not believe it till I bought it. But I used my stipend, I reinvested in myself, and I paid for that exam. Not just that exam, I also wrote an advanced financial modeling exam. So I've built that mindset of reinvest in yourself. Even if it's a business, reinvest. Don't eat your profits, reinvest, reinvest, reinvest. That is how an investment works. You keep putting till it becomes something. So that is what I am doing. I wrote all my goals for this year, major goals. In fact, even superficial goals like, oh, I want to have followers on LinkedIn and TikTok. Even those ones, so I'm achieving it. But the major ones that required money, I saved that money and I'm doing them. And God is making it easier. Like I said, I saved money, but I got a scholarship and it amplified it. Even the AFM exam, I got a scholarship for it again and it amplified it. And that's the same thing I'm going to be taking to 2025. Now, 2025, I don't know how much I'm going to be earning because I'll be doing an internship. We still don't know yet. But I know that the first thing I want to do is to write there's this financial educator certification that I'm already eyeing. I said that is what I'm going to do. I have that growth mindset. I have that mindset of reinvesting in myself, no matter how little I am. I have bills I am paying. I also send money home. I have expenses in Naira. So don't think, and the money, see, when I tell you that this is what I'm earning, right, you will still be doubting it, but that is it. Apart from, okay, I have other sites that I'm doing. But I've showed this mindset of reinvesting in myself. And you too can do this. That's the way you go from where you are to where you want to be. These certifications, they are investment. As a finance person, you need these certifications. Before you can even get to interview, you need the certification. Before you can negotiate for a salary, you need the certification. You too, you know what you need to get to where you want. So you use your money to get that thing. Now, there's no employer that will see me doing this and they'll say something. The first thing they realize is, oh, this person doesn't even need our money to become chartered. She did it herself. This person doesn't need us to pay a CFA exam. She can do it herself. I can negotiate that way. So I just wanted to bring this to convey how I've applied this thing in my own life and how you too can, because I will not tell you, I don't do aspire to perspire here. I won't tell you what I just read online. All the things I dish out on Money Chat with Hafsat are things that I do, I adopt, and I'm bringing out to other people. I want you to also practice it. So I'm not just seeing things online and telling you to do it. It's because it's a journey that I am also doing myself. So I hope I was not too fast. Guys, you guys are quiet though. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, are we together? I can hear Jemila's voice.
Yes, we are.
Elizabeth, Ifunaya. So I wanted to share
Yes,
that
yes.
I'm
to
here with you.
convey what we can do for ourselves. We need to have a growth mindset. We need to want to, anything we get, want to multiply it. So it's not just by maybe shares investment, asset investment. We will get to that phase. But right now, your biggest investment is yourself. Your biggest investment. And nobody is going to what are they calling it, invest in you. You have to start investing in yourself before someone else will come and help you amplify that journey. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I can't see it. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, but you are
Yes, we can.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
So yes. Okay, so let's move forward. So now there are things that helped me walk through this journey. It did not just happen. How was I able to save money? How was I able to manage my debts I had? How was I able to manage a lot of things? There is a way to do that. And I have broken them down into 5 major steps. The first one is what we are doing today. The second one, if we have time, we can cover that one too today. So basically, it's into 5 steps. All your financial goals is in 5 steps. You want to budget your income so that you tell your money where to go before it comes in. It gives you the edge. It gives you the upper hand. You are in control. Number 2, you're tracking your spending. You want to see, did I budget accurately or did I over budget or under budget? When you track your spending, that's when you realize that why will I spend 50K on Ashwebi? Or why will I dash somebody 50K? Or what happened to this money? When you track it, you see, are there room to cut down? Or are there places that you can amplify? One of the things that helped me save very well, especially last year, I avoided a lot of costs. I love going to beach, even beach that I don't need to pay money to enter. I did not go. I say transportation costs, I cannot afford it. I did a lot of things that I quit. That's what they call delaying gratification. It is very necessary when you have goals that you want to pursue and when you have limited income. The third one is savings. We know what savings is. It's about accumulating money so that that money can become tangible and you use it for something. You cannot, for instance, you want to travel abroad, you want to pay for a purchase, you want to make a big purchase. You cannot just do that with one salary. It's not possible. You will eat now, you pay transport, you will buy data. So you need to be saving a portion. When it becomes something, you will use it. Like I started saving road to 1 million. When it reached like August, it has become something. That's something. I use it to pay for flight tickets. I move. So you have to accumulate it no matter what. It must accumulate. Then you can think of increasing your income. Because right now, it is a necessity. It is not longer. I remember that PiggyVest survey. A lot of people say they don't have, now most people do not even have more than one source of income. It is now a necessity. You cannot rely on one. This is the first time I'm monetizing Money Chat with Hafsat. It took me 2 years to monetize Money Chat with Hafsat. It's because I'm in for the long run. And it's also a way for me to diversify my own income. But that's not the only thing I do. I build financial models for people. It's a way for me to increase my income. Then when we do that, we talk about investment. Investment is in 2 ways, like I say. You invest in yourself. You invest in yourself. For instance, starting a business, increasing your income is also a way to invest in yourself. Certifications are a way to invest in yourself. Depending on your goal, your investment is specific to you. You invest in yourself. Then you now invest. When you are stable, when you are good, when you are okay, when you bring your expenses below your income, you now start investing in assets like shares, like other form of investment that will look in the future, right? So basically, this is it. This is the journey that it takes for you to get. Rich people, they have dedicated financial planners that will help them analyze all of this thing. I will advise them on what to spend, what to invest. They have investment advisors that do them. I'm trying to make this more accessible to people like myself. Not pricey, not holistic. It doesn't have to be a full-blown financial planning service, but what you need to give yourself a head start is what you're going to be getting. So basically, this is it. And I've splitted everything into all of the sessions that we are having. And today we're going to be looking at budgeting. So before we go to budget, any questions so far? Anything?
Sorry, I'm kind of confused somewhere.
All right, no problem. Please.
In the investment you talked about, you said it's divided into two, investing in yourself and the other one. Sorry, I did not get.
And other form of investment, like assets, investing in other like tangible assets. You know, yourself is like an intangible asset, right? And then other form of investment like assets, like shares, maybe like real estate, like jewelry, like gold, like other things. Those are like tangible assets, maybe the ones that you can see, right? Some of them. So investing in yourself and investing in those kind of assets. So are we ready to dive in? Because we're going to do some little practical. So let me go back to our screen. So the first thing we are looking at today is budgeting. I've spoken about budgeting while I've been talking. But the thing about budget is it's not difficult. I'm sure you guys used to hear Nigeria, they do Nigerian budget. Government to do budgets, companies do budgets. So why shouldn't an individual do a budget? And an individual budget doesn't have to be as complicated as their own, right? So it's very simple. You have an income and you have how you want to spend it. So what does a budget do? A budget tells you how to spend it. Now, the budget is not telling you actually, you are telling your money how you want to spend it. You are the one assigning it. It gives you control. So it's not, people say budget is restricting. It is not, because you're the one setting it yourself. You're the one prioritizing your stuff, right? Or you're clarifying it. Because when you do that, it gives you the opportunity to look at it and, do I like it? Do I not like it? Is this the best way to use my money? Or is there a better way that I can use my money? That is what a budget will help you. So it will allow your expense to align with your income so that you are not living above your means. It will allow you to also monitor your spending habits. You want to know where your money is going. But most importantly, it will allow you to prioritize your needs above your wants. So speaking of needs and wants, it is important for us to clarify that. So what are needs? Needs are, for instance, from the word, you need something. You need it because it is a necessity. You cannot do without that thing. You cannot do without rent, like accommodation. You cannot do without feeding. You cannot do without clothing. That is essential clothing, right? You cannot do without medicine. Even education is a need, right? So these are important things. So whenever you want to make a budget, those are the first thing you want to account for, because you cannot do without them. They are must-haves. So you must have them in your budget. So when we leave need, we go to want. Want, you get like, I want something, I desire something, I would love to have that thing. They might not be a necessity, but they will just help you improve your satisfaction, improve your living condition, make you feel better, make you feel good, right? You might want jewelry, accessories. You might want nicer clothes. You already have clothes that is in your wardrobe, everything you need, but you want more. That's where it becomes want. You want to buy Coke every day. You want to buy suya. You want to go for vacation. You want to do this. Now, vacation can be a want or a need. It depends. There are instances where vacation can be a need. At each point in time, something can be a want and it could be a need. But wants basically are things that they are not mandated. You must not have them, but you desire to have them. So in a typical budget, you want to make sure that the things that are necessity come first before the things you desire. And then the last part is savings. Savings is a big component of your budget. You could either call it savings or investment, anyone, but that money that you will not spend must be part of your budget. It needs to be in your budget. There must be a money that you are pushing to tomorrow, that you're not spending today, that you're forwarding to your future. So that's what they call savings or investment. So, and there is not like a single rule for how to make a budget, but online you see a popular budgeting formula that they say a 50, 30, 20 rule, whereby you are keeping 50% for your needs, you are portioning 30% for your wants, and you are portioning 20% for your savings and investment. But it is subjective. You can create your own formula. You don't even need a formula. It's just your reality is going to determine how much you're allocating for your savings for your one. For instance, if you have a pressing goal and you want to prioritize it, your savings can even be 50%. I have done savings of 50%. I did it last year brutally. Because if I don't do that, I cannot save faster. So there are instances where your savings can go as much as 40, 50%. Your wants can even disappear and your needs can even skyrocket. Like right now, our needs can be 70%, 80%. It can happen, right? So typically, that is what a budget is about. Now I want to move to a practical segment. I want to move to the practical part. But before I get there, do we have any question yet before we get to the practical aspect? Are we together?
Yes. Yes. I have a question, though.
All right, please go ahead.
So, when is the best time to create a budget? So when I say time, I mean, is it at the beginning of the month? Is it mid-month? Is it ending of the month? Is it when you receive the salary? And you know, for instance, some companies don't pay you like 30th or 31st. They pay you like 25, 26, 27. So when is like the best time to create a budget?
Okay, thank you for that question. So the simple answer is before the money comes in. And now before the money comes in, so for most people is usually the last week of the year, of the month, right? The 4th month. So if let's say your income is coming 25th, you want to do it maybe 23rd or even 24th, but before it comes in, right? So you want to budget before it comes in to give you room to decide, to give you room to be in control. Why? Because most times what we do is when money comes in, at times we do a mental budget. You're telling yourself in your head. But when you don't put it down, you don't do that plus and minus, you will not know whether you're over budgeting your money or you're under budgeting your money. So when you put it down, you see the money clearly. Also, most times what we do is when that money comes, that's when you just ask you, oh, you pay for this, you pay for this, you pay for this, you pay for that. Whether they are important in that month or they are not important in that month, without you prioritizing or not, you just spend it. And that way, you're not like in control. Like money will have, that's why before you know, you say, where is my money? Where did it go to? So you want to budget so that you know that, oh yeah. I already allocated the money. This is how I spent it. I spent it based on how you feel in control. You feel like, oh, I know where the money went to. What can I do? You get something like that. So it's before the money comes in. Aisha, please ask your question.
Yeah, so it might seem like I'm jumping the gun, but yeah, I just want to make sure I don't forget to ask this question. So when we budget before the money comes in, when do you track the expenses? Is it when, so like the example I gave you where some people get paid, they paid earlier than the ending of the month, right? Do you track the budget when you get paid? Or say, oh, this is when my own month starts, or you track the budget at the ending of the month initially, like normally?
Okay, so these are things that we are going to tackle as we progress, but I can answer part of it now. So when you create a budget, you allocate how you spend your money. The best thing or the most practical thing that we all do is you will spend October salary in November, first of all. So you're going to make a November budget. Even if you start spending it the last day of October, but we already know that it is for you to survive November, not October, because you've already done like 80% of October. Now, how do you track it? The best way is where you spend the money. But a lot of us find it difficult to like track our spending every day, even though we spend money every day. So there are ways that can simplify it for us. But the idea is when you spend the money, try to track it. So I'm going to share that as we progress. The most efficient way that are not time consuming for you to track your spending. So can we go to the practical now? Yep. Ifunanya, are we good? Khadija, are we good? Shaada, Malik, Elizabeth, are we good to go? Elizabeth, I haven't heard from you.
Yes, we are.
Okay, Khadija.
Carry
Yes,
on.
well,
Then.
today you can carry on.
Okay. So a few days ago, I sent an email. For some people, they got it today. Khadija, you got yours today. I sent an email with a link for you to make a copy of a budget tracker, right? So now that tracker is what we are going to be using. I created that tracker, I think like 2 years ago. I modified it. I use it. I love that it's flexible. So it's just, I created a template and it's graphical. You just need to just put numbers in some certain spaces to track your money. And I made a short video and it's a bit complicated. So I'm going to walk us through how to do that. So I'm going to start first of all by showing us my own budget. I told us we're going to be very personal in this, what are they calling it, in this bootcamp. So now this is my tracker, right? You can see from like February this year, that was when I started this one. I have different templates. So I put in numbers. You can see numbers everywhere. You can see some signs. You can see, so this is my budget. I try to update them as often as possible. And there isn't a month that the money did not come. Oh, don't worry, we survived it. But then this is the budget. This is like October right now. This is right now. And I even updated some this evening, right? So this is the budget. I track it with my expense tracker here. I update it. There is even a breakdown I can see. For instance, there, obviously, feeding takes a chunk of my budget, right? This is feeding. Now, this is not Naira. You have seen that there's no many zeros. I'm in Morocco, it is dirhams. So this is feeding, this is healthcare, this is entertainment, this is subscription, this is transportation. So these are some breakdowns. So this is what your own tracker tool will do for you. Now, to see a better picture, if you go to annual overview, you will see, okay, when did I make more money? April, there's a reason why money came in more in April. If you see, that same April I had to spend because I paid for some examinations during that period. So, but what are the things I'm spending my money on? Savings, you can see savings is the longest. I meant it when I said it. Savings and education are actually together, is the same money. It's just in different spaces, but everything I've been spent now, they are now in my head. I've spent them on certifications and it's now a part of me, right? But the next thing you see here is feeding and grocery. You will see personal and healthcare. You see entertainment. I have to forfeit a lot of entertainment for that. And then clothing, and then gifts and donations. I send money at times. Few times I convert, but other times I use my Naira to fund personal Nigerian spending. I don't want to put them here. And then few utensils, transportation. So basically, I don't have so much expense category. And I made a lot of categories so that it can suit everybody. So basically, you can see that I have my finances, like I'm tracking my finances, right? So this is what I want you to also have. So you can review it. I just reviewed mine for you guys now. So this is what we are also going to do. So what do you guys think about that? Would you like to have yours? Okay, Aisha is in. Are you ready to also have your own template filled with numbers?
Yes. Yes, but it looks complicated though. But you know.
I know, right? It looks, but to be honest, it's not. I promise you it is not. It's not complicated. It is not. I simplify. Like I said, it's a template. I created a template. I even used formulas, so that's where the complication is, but it is not. So I created one, and just to make you guys follow very well, I'm going to start a new one. Let me go to one of the email I sent recently. Okay. Sorry. I know you guys can see my screen. So I want to go through one of the emails I sent to you so that you understand what I mean, what I expect you to do when you get that email. So let's go to this. She's actually not in class, but let's do this. So I said, create your budget. So when you click on templates, it takes us here. Now, why are we doing this? Is because I want it to be stored in cloud. I want you to be able to access this with your Gmail. So you can log in on your phone or your laptop. You can always update it. That is why I want it. Because if it's normal Excel, it is not going to be updated in real time. So you make a copy like this. You click on make a copy. When you make a copy, you'll be able to see the file. It is going to open in a minute. Now, this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. It is in your Google. You can see my face is showing here. It is in my Gmail. It is stored in my Google Drive. I want to minimize this a bit. I don't know. You let me know if it is okay, this minimizing. I've minimized it to 75. So let's make it, you can rename it to show your name. So I'm going to rename it as Bootcamp. Bootcamp Money Tracker, right? You can also put your name here to Bootcamp to personalize it. Now, everybody is going to share this with me because we're going to have one-on-one session. So you're going to share your budget template with me. How do you do that? You come up here. There is a place where they say share. So when you click on share, you will put, I'm going to share my email address. You put moneychatwithafsat@gmail.com. You put me as an editor, and then you send to me. You send. Automatically, I will have access to it as a reviewer. Do you understand what I just did right now?
Yes.
Okay. So you share it with me so that I'll
Yes.
do it for you. Exactly. So that was what we do. That's first level. We are together. You share it with me so that I can review it. Now, there are different sheets here. There is the budget. There is expense. There is goal. And there is overview. As we progress, we are going to be looking at it together. But today, let's look at budget and maybe we'll look at expense. So let's look at budget first. I want to reduce this again so that you guys can see me. I don't know, can you still see my screen like this?
It's kind of tiny.
All right, let me increase it. What of now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me go back to it. So now there is October budget. How can I enter October budget? If I click on, there's a plus sign here. There's a small plus sign. When you click on the plus sign, it will open up and then you can enter October. But I don't want October to interfere because we are doing November budget. So I'm going to click on minus and it will close, right? It has closed. October has closed. So now we are in November. So if you enter the budget, you can see some numbers. Anywhere you see number, please don't write there. It is a formula, so don't write there. It will update automatically. Anywhere you see number, you see figures, 000, don't write there, please. So the same way we have November on, if you want to enter December, you click on plus and you can enter December. Same thing. But we want to create November budget. Most of us have received income for, they paid us October salary, and we are going to use it. Some of us have started spending it, is okay, but I want us to just update it so that we can do this twice during this bootcamp, so that we can do November and December together. I want us to do it twice. So you're still going to update it. Even if you have spent the money, you're going to update it, right? So how do you do that? I told you budget is two things, income and expenses. So we're going to start with our income. If you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. So we're going to start with our income. The first thing you see here is your income category. What do I mean by that? You click on this drop down. It tells you different type of income. Are you receiving salary or are you receiving stipend? So I'm going to create a budget for myself because we don't want to share too much personal information on a general call. We'll do it one-on-one, right? So I am a student, I'm receiving stipend, scholarship. So I'll click on stipend. What is the budgeted amount? I'll put 1,000. That is 1,000 dirhams. 1,000 dirhams is like 115,000 naira. So I'll put 1,000 dirham. Or should I use bigger numbers so that we can flow with it better? I should use 150,000, right?
Yes, please.
Yes, I think for
Yes,
it to
do
be
that.
more
That'll be
realistic.
better.
Yes, thank you. So I received stipend, 150,000. So let's say, okay, money chat with Afsa. Let me put business income. Let me also write 50,000 here. So your might be more than this. Your source of income can be 1, it can be 2. So which means the money I receive in November, forget that it's November budget. Like I said, it is October salary, but you spend it in November. So we put November budget. That is the best way to work with the group budgeting. So which means our money is 200,000. It's minus because the money have not come in. So Aisha spoke about tracking, updating. So when the money come, I wrote this, let's assume I wrote this 150 and 50 on the 23rd of October. So on 26th of October, when they pay me, I'll come here and update it. 50,000. The money has shown. So this is the money that we are dealing with. So the budget is
Sorry, please, can I ask something?
Yes, please.
I guess my network was hanging when you said why is it 150 and 50,000? I thought the person is earning 150,000.
Yeah, so we're making an assumption. We're making an assumption with me, right?
Yeah.
So let's assume my first source of income is stipend of 150,000. But I also have businesses that give me money. For instance, Money Chat with Absat. So I'm expecting to get, let's say, 50,000 if somebody subscribed, right? So each month I'm expecting 200,000. So that's why I wrote.
Okay.
So you categorize it to just give you more breakdown you get.
Okay. What of someone that just has one source of income?
You write only one. You clear it. We write only one. Exactly.
Okay.
So you do the budget before the money come, 150,000. Then when the money come, you reflect it. But now let's assume the money have not come. We're still doing a budget, right? So our stipend is 150,000. Now, how do we spend this money? That is why we are doing a budget. So I know my daily expenses. So now we're gone from income, we are going to expenses. I know my daily expenses. I know the things that are a need. I told you we're going to start with needs because they are priority. So what is the one thing we all need that we must spend money on?
Food.
Food and data.
Data is not a necessity. That's true. It's not a necessity. So we go to the expense category.
Let's say food, transport.
Exactly. So there's expense category. Now I created a long list of categories because when you categorize things, they make more sense. For instance, especially when it comes to tracking your spending. So you need to categorize things. So the first thing we are going to provide is food. We must eat food. Feeding and groceries. That is the general classification. I cannot put a description. Okay, food stuff. Or I can break it down a bit. Let me say I want to buy, maybe I only need to replace my rice, oil, and Indomie. So that I remember what I want to use the money for, right? Now, as a student, I'm not really buying too much. I can put, let's say, 30,000 naira. Now, this is going to be realistic to you. You might not know how much you're spending. That is why we're doing it this month. Most of us don't know how much we are spending. So this month, we're going to make an estimation together. You make an estimation, and we go over it. So you're making an estimation. By next month, you will be more certain, right? So that is it. So right now, I'm making an estimation that my feeding is 30,000. I put it down. I still have 120,000. You can see that this is updating by itself. I told you there are formulas. So those other ones we update by themselves. Now I still have 120,000. The next thing is, we spoke about data, right? Telephone. So write data. Data is now a necessity. But for me, I'm using free Wi-Fi. But we're going to write data. 10,000. I buy data once in a blue moon. Anytime that I'm leaving campus that there's no Wi-Fi, that's when I buy data. So you not really see data in my own expenses. So we've made provision. We have 110,000. We cannot do without transportation. So we'll make provision for transportation. Fortunately for me, I don't go to the market very often. So, and transport here is like a flat rate, but we're going to make an assumption. You know how much, you have an idea of how much. So that's what you're going to put for yourself. So let's assume 25,000. Now I still have 85,000 naira. So what's the next thing we need to make provision for? After food, transport, what else do you spend money on?
Clothes.
Clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Do we buy clothes every month?
Yes, now.
You should fear God, though. So anyway, these are part of the things we are going to discuss in our second webinar. There are some things that you don't buy every month. We are very honest. Personally, I buy clothing, let's say, every 6 months or 10 months. It depends. Maybe if it's an attire I want to add, then I can buy. For instance, since I come here, I've just buy few clothes. In fact, It's this month when I go back, because I'm not in my campus, I'm in another campus. When I go back, I want to go and buy a few clothes because it's my final semester. I cannot be wearing the same thing. So clothing is not something that will happen every month. Let's be realistic. It can't, especially right now that we are managing our finances. So I'm not going to put clothes. Give me something else. Who is paying rent here? Is anybody paying rent here?
We pay rent, oh.
Pay rent,
Put rent.
monthly rent.
Exactly.
No, but you'll be saving for a monthly, I guess.
Exactly. So it depends. Now,
But some people pay rent monthly, not in Nigeria though.
Not in Nigeria.
Not in Nigeria.
So these are the things we're going to talk about in our next session. We're going to talk about how to make provision for big stuff. For instance, like rent, like clothing. I'm already noting them down. But some of us save for monthly, right? So you put rent. Rent used to be high, usually. So let's assume 40,000. It depends on how much, for how many months you are saving it. So now we have 45,000 left. Oh my goodness. I pity people that is anyone 50,000 in this economy. Most of us send money to our sibling, our family, our friend, or something, right? So I made a category for that. We call that gifts and donation. Gifts. If you want, I can make provision for family, but it's the same thing, right? I just call it gift because you gift it could be friends, it could be family. So you specify it under the description, family. You can say, okay, you've promised your brother 15,000, or if it's mom, you want to send to add it. You cannot do beyond your income. For instance, somebody anyone 50,000, 15,000 is something, and they will understand. You communicate. We're also going to talk about black tax in our next session, how to handle stuff like that, because those things will affect if you can stick to your budget or not. Now you can see that it's remaining 30,000. We have not saved money, because it's not just rent you're saving for. You're not earning money to only pay landlord. And the one thing you want to do is to pay yourself. That's where saving comes in. You are paying yourself first. We're supposed to put savings at first. But needs are important, so you put it. So we can say savings, right? Because no matter what, that is the goal. No matter how little you want to save. So you can write saving for, it could be a goal. For instance, now there's a certification I'm trying to do. I can write a saving for certificate. Let me write for exam. Oh, my number one saving goal for next year is to come to Nigeria. So saving for transport, for flight tickets, and anything, any description you understand. That's my number one goal. Flight ticket now is like 1 million naira. You should pray for me. So I have to save for it. It's my stipend. So I can put, let's say 15,000. We can start small. Anything is possible. Don't undervalue or undermine the value of small steps. They can compound to become something. Now we have just 5,000. One of the things that can make you achieve your budget is if you spend something for personal. So that's what I call like entertainment, for instance. Now you can say 5,000 is nothing, but you can still put it there, personal. Or other times it could be a buffer. We're going to talk about the concept of buffer in our next session too. But for now, we are going to say personal, 5,000. You can see yellow. Yellow is telling us that we are within our budget. But if assuming I write 15,000, you will see red. Why are you seeing red? Because you cannot spend what you do not have. You cannot. The only way you can spend more than what you have, it means you must borrow money. And we don't want to borrow money. So your budget needs to be in line. But if you did not take your time to do this thing, you will have spent the money finished before you remember that, wait, you did not save. You did not save for rent. You've not bought data. Hey, your rice. So when you write them down, it just gives you clarity. You have a conversation with yourself. For instance, now we have created our budget. Well, let's assume it is red. What do you start doing? You start going over your budget. Because you already have a personal, for instance, let's assume that you've already promised maybe your friends that you guys are going outing together and you must spend 15,000. Now, what do you do? So what do you think you can do in this situation? Because you cannot spend what you do not have. Any suggestion? Malik, are we together? Just react.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I hope you're following.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm loving this image that I'm seeing.
Yeah, I was just kind of playing around when you're talking.
So let's assume that we are budgeted more than our income. It's not possible. The only thing you will do is to borrow money. And that's the reason why we don't move forward to some extent. You can borrow money, but for important things. We're also going to talk about borrowing money. So you don't want to borrow money every time, especially for spending, for consumables. These things are consumables. So the practical thing is you must forfeit something. That's the thing about life. You must give up something. It's either you call your friends and tell them that, guys, I don't think I can do this. Let's make it December. I will save 5,000 this month and 10,000 next month, and then we'll do what we want to do. So you have to be very practical. Set goals yourself. I know one thing about budget. When you have a timeline for something, you feel better. It will work for you, I'm telling you. Because you know that, oh, I'll tell myself, oh, we cannot go out this month, but you can do it next month. If you keep 5,000 this month and 10,000 next month, you can do it. So because I know when I will be able to do it, I also feel better. Budgeting gives you clarity. So now we cannot live our budget this way, which means, for instance, you can say, okay, you will price it. Feeding will be 27,000. Oh, your data, I think you time yourself. You will not buy too much data. You maximize office data. Let's do 7,000. Sorry, 7,000. You go to transport. Will you call in sick? Will you tell your boss that you need, are you taking leave this month? So like you just think of what is practical, what is feasible. 23,000. If it is not feasible, you will leave it though. You go to rent, okay? If you must send money to family and you might not be able to save 40,000 for rent this month, you already know that, okay, if you are reducing from your rent savings this month, you must replace it next month. Are you okay with that? Good and fine. If you are not okay with that, go to the next thing. You look, okay, service for flights, this is not possible. It's not possible. You cannot do 25,000. You will do 20,000. You just have to be realistic. So till this is green or yellow, you are not leaving it. Till it becomes green or yellow, you are not leaving it. Now, this is a picture representation of living within your means. It is very hard, but that is the reality. So the budget gives you the time to look, to analyze it, to give yourself some, don't overthink it. It's just like, you're just trying to look at what is feasible and what is not feasible and trying to make your budget align with that. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes.
All right, give me.
Yes.
Please, 1 second. 1 second.
Sure, listen.
Sorry, guys. I told you I'm in another campus and we're actually having a party this night. I've already surrendered. All right. So that is the thing about budget, right? You want to budget your income within you don't want to spend what you do not have, because if you are spending above your means, you're borrowing. When you borrow this month, you borrow next month. Because if 150 is not enough for you, then it cannot be enough next month. It cannot happen. And that's how you keep borrowing, and your borrowing will accumulate. So, but when you scrutinize, when you look at your expense and every expense is justifying itself to you, your expenses will be competing for your attention, then you allocate it based on your capability. And to be honest, this is what I've been doing for the past, I think about 3 years or 4 years right now, since I've been managing my finances. I don't want to borrow money from anybody. I don't want to ask for. I don't want that, because most times it's not because people do not want to give you, it's because they also do not have it. So you want to stay with, you want to be stable, you want to be independent. You don't want to be meeting people every time. Give me money, give me this. You don't want to have a bad reputation. I remember when I was in Lagos, that was very broke. That was the period I realized that people are not giving me because they do not want to give me, but because they also have their own problem. So you don't want that. You only want that if you need them, it is for a very, very important thing, and they will come through for you. But if they know you are somebody that's always asking for money, they are ruining your reputation. So you have to find a way to live within your means. Is that my same income? It's just last year I left Nigeria. So I've been managing this income and doing what I want to do. I've been multiplying, I'm seeing results. So when I analyze my spending at the end of the year, it's not only consumables. I see assets, I see my certifications, I see the fact that I traveled. In fact, all my content creation gadgets, I don't use iPhone before. I told myself I don't need an iPhone. But because of Money Chat with Asa, because I wanted to be creating good videos, that was why I bought my iPhone. It's the first phone I'm buying by myself. And to me, it's not just a phone, it is my asset. That's why I got it. But you see a lot of people in Lagos, for instance, they will be buying iPhone. You don't have money to feed, but let's say iPhone come, they have it. Ow. They will be holding plot of land on their hand. Let's fear God. So we want to live responsible, right? Responsibly. So this is our budget. Any questions before I progress? I still want to show us one or two things before we end the meeting. So
I have a question.
Okay, who wants to go first? Malik.
I said there's no question for me. There's no question.
All right. But do you understand, like, did you follow the budgeting process?
Yeah, I followed.
You understand it?
Yeah.
All right.
A bit. I'll message you later if I'm.
No problem. We're going to
have
actually
I played with it earlier, so yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a one-on-one session for that. Elizabeth, please go ahead. Elizabeth, I think you had a question.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I don't have a question.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. So, how is it now? Does it feel clearer?
Yes.
Okay, Ifunanya, how is it?
So,
I can hear you, Ifunanya.
I said better. I understand it now. Very well.
Understand it now, right? Exactly. Yes. Like I said, because first of all, you already told me you're comfortable with Excel. So it's basically the same thing. And most of them are formularized. So it's just few places that you add input and I will follow you with it. Khadija, you have a question, please go.
Yes. So I wanted to apply this to me personally.
Yes.
So we have fixed income and then I have variable income.
Yes.
That is like intensive. So when I'm creating my budget, do I include this, not knowing the actual amount, and just put like an
average?
Like a hand, will I just put an amount there, or I just leave it blank? Whenever it comes, then I include it and maybe add other ones, not need now, other ones that I might use the money for.
That is a very good way to do it. But first of all, when you want to do your budget, we want to budget based on our, let's say, permanent, in this case, permanent income, fixed income, right? Because in reality, for instance, it could be possible and maybe that money doesn't come or it got delayed, the other one, but you know your permanent income must come. So you first budget to make sure that your needs are covered with your permanent income and your wants will wait, you get. Another thing you can do is make a low estimate. Accounting, we have what they call prudence, whereby you make your expenses, if possible, overstate your expense, but understate your income. You get, so that you're not gonna expect money, counting an egg or a chick before it hatch, you get. So we don't want that kind of situation because it can destabilize your budget and make you feel somehow. Your well-being is very, very important, and how you feel about your finances can affect that. So you don't want to overstate the income. So you make sure your expenses is based on your major income and fuel. So that when that money now comes, you can now use it to sort your wants. So your wants should kind of like wait a bit, you get something like that. So that's much better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Aisha, do you have a question? Jamila? Let me check the comment box too. Yeah,
my question is
borrowing, right? It's not easy. If you don't, it's like a loop. You have to come out of it.
So how do I overcome that borrowing? That's my question.
Yep, we're going to be looking at that in our next session. But this is the first step, to be very honest. The first step is scrutinizing your expenses. Some things have to go. You don't have a choice. some things we have to go, especially your wants. Now, I'm not saying this to make you, oh, you've worked, you will not pat yourself on the back. No, they will happen. Some can happen now, some can happen tomorrow. And this is where they call purposeful spending. I like to call it purposeful spending, because sometimes your wants don't necessarily have to be expensive. It is the impact it makes to you. For instance, I love going to the beach, right? And most times, I don't really need to go and buy a very expensive dress to feel happy or to splurge to feel happy. Sometimes, honestly, what I need is just a day at the beach. Budget friendly. And it's not because it's budget friendly, it's because it gives me a lasting impression. I feel more better. So those are some of the ways you can gratify yourself in a short time till you can accomplish some goals. For instance, this year I paid for a lot of exams. Like I read, it's not even about the exam. The exam is even one part, the reading. I spent throughout my summer. And that's the same time I was uploading videos. So people will not know, but the back behind it, I was reading back to back. That was one of the most challenging things. I don't feel like giving up on so many things, but I did it. And the only thing I did after my exam was I just went to the beach, dancing, and that was what I like. It made me feel, like it just helped me feel balanced. Another person will go to a boutique and just start buying clothes, doing retail therapy. We cannot afford that right now. Let's be very honest. So if you want to achieve your goal, manage your finances, you have to become more rational. You have to give up some things, and you will decide what to give up. And some of these things that are giving up, not because you will not do them, but it's just like delaying it for a while, deferring it. And as we progress, I'm going to share more of how I have done this, especially when we go to our goal setting. Oh my goodness, you will see what it means to defer, to delay, and to completely remove from your budget. So we're going to get to that, right? So we're here together. So the budgeting is not very complicated. It's very easy, honestly. That's how I do it. It takes you 5 minutes to update that. From next month, you have more. Now, okay, let me even go back to the budget tracker. So now you have budgeted it. By, let's say 25th September, October, they paid you. You want to start spending your money. This is where expense tracking now comes in. So for instance, I come here, I will write a 2nd November, 2024. Your date is the first thing you want to do. Don't worry, my date is different. Maybe on your system, your date might not be different, but let me do 11/02/2024, 2nd November. Then I can write feeding. Let's assume I've gone to the market and I spent on feeding. I'll write 25,000. How did I pay it? Maybe I used my bank to pay it, or I paid with cash. Now you must pick the right category again here, feeding. So once you do this, you see, it is showing here that you've spent 25,000 on feeding. But that's not the best part. The best part is when you now go to the budget. Okay, can you guys still hear me? I'm getting a notification that my sound is bad. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so now that you have recorded it, when you go to the budget tracker, you see it is showing here. So that's why I tell you, anywhere you see number, don't write there, it will populate. So when you go to the expense sheet and you record another one, maybe transport to work, 2,000, you record it, cash. You come here, transportation. Let's find transportation. So you see the breakdown, it is telling you that, okay, you spend also on transportation. You go to your budget tracker, you see your transportation, it has reflected. This signal is telling you what is happening. Now, let me make an assumption. Let's assume we spent 30,000 on feeding. You see what is going to happen. Let's go to the budget. First of all, you are seeing a red here. What is it telling you? It is telling you that you budgeted 27,000, but you have spent 30,000. What the signal is telling you that there is danger. Why? Because you've spent more than you budgeted. If you spend more than what you budget on each expense, it means you must forfeit something because you have to spend what you have. So if rice has become 30,000, it means something else. We take it. For instance, it could be transportation that will take the fall, or it could be family, or it could be personal, or at the end of the day, you will come back here and now go and borrow money, which is what we are avoiding. So that is why I love this budget template. It is dynamic. It is going to be telling you, it's going to be giving you signal, it's going to be showing you what you're doing and what you're not doing. So basically, this is what it means to budget your income and to track it. So next week, I'm going to talk about how to track your spending so that you don't have to be doing it every day, because it can be tiring. Even me, I don't track my spending every day. So I'm going to share some of the ways that you can track your spending appropriately so that you can have accurate figures, just like my own. So once again, let me go to my own. This is how I have been budgeting and I'm tracking. For instance, come and see my expense. You can see how plenty it is. I write, oh, spark, tomato, pepper, fish, potato, transport, Indomie, chicken. This is a passport photo. These are the way. Oh, Lipton, snacks, face cream. This is how I update them. And I choose a category because tomato, fish, all of them are feeding, right? So when you categorize it, instead of it to be seen tomato here, you just see feeding and you know that, okay, it is food stuff. You don't want to be seen tomato. It will be too haphazard. You will not understand it. So this is how I have been tracking my spending, and I can see a pictorial breakdown. I know where my money is going. I feel in control of my finances. So that is our budgeting practical demo session. I hope you find that insightful. Khadija, your hand is still up.
No, I'm not asking any questions. Okay, is it because
yeah. All right. So I hope you followed through with the budgeting session. Like, it's still recorded. If you want to see some things, you can go over the recording. I'll provide the link to it, right? So let's go back to our presentation and wrap up. But if you have questions, please drop them on. So we've covered the budgeting. You've seen how to create a budget for yourself. Now you are one step ahead of many people that do not budget. Now you're like me that can budget. I've also talked about expense tracking, and basically it's just you recording your spending, and it could be daily or weekly. What does it do? So that you can understand your money and make sure it is aligned with your goal. Now, budgeting is just a part of what we do, but there is something that drives your budget. There is something that allocates, that tells you how to allocate your money, and it is your goals. But goals is what we're going to be doing at the end of the session. But that goal, it drives you, it tells you a lot of things. It will motivate how you should budget your income. Although during our one-on-one sessions, I'm going to go more into your budget and understand why you create your budget the way you're creating it. So that is the next thing we are doing now. I'm going to share a link shortly. The link is uploading. Now, this is what it's going to look like. When you follow the link, you're going to see something like this, a calendar. In fact, let me click it so that we can go there. Let's go to the link together. So I'm going to share the link with you. What I want you to do is pick a time that you want me to go over your budget. I want us to do it within the first week, because most of us have received our salary, we're already spending the money. I want us to do this as fast as possible. But unfortunately, I'm not available today and tomorrow. I am not in my campus. I'm going to be traveling back to my campus, so I'm not available tomorrow. But from Monday, we're doing boot camp. Boot camp is my priority now. After classes is boot camp, everything. So I'm sure most of us will be available like in the night. So I provided 7 p.m., 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. So you come and you select when you want me to have a session with you. You put your name, you put your email address, and you book. I already know that you're the one. But please, before you book, fill the budget tracker. Fill it, then we'll discuss it, because that's what we are discussing, right? Fill it, then we'll discuss it. Also, your goal sheet, that Google form, write your goals, because that way I can relate with you better. In case you come and you are not seeing 7 o'clock, it means somebody else has picked it. It means somebody else has picked it. Please show up. Please, I am begging you. You select your time, show up. I will remind you, I'm going to be doing a follow-up. Please show up, right? So everybody should book. You have from now till, I put 9th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. From 9th to 9th. 9th is a Saturday, so that I'm going to be very available. I know we're having a session on Saturday. We're going to decide on the time. So we have the first 1 week to book our first one-on-one session. So everybody should book a session that works for them. I'm going to share it on WhatsApp so that I hope you understand this booking. Any question here? Hello, any question?
No, I don't think so. No question from me. I
All right, so
understand.
please let's book a one-on-one session. Populate the budget template, then I will go over it with you. I want to know why you're budgeting the way you're budgeting, and then I'm going to provide more tips for you. And I'm also going to understand better your financial situation. So, and it's personal, that is why it's one-on-one. So we're going to do that. That's the next thing we have to do. We can start booking from today. So I can monitor your budget allocation and provide you with instant feedback. That's why we are doing that. And then we're wrapping up already, so I don't want us to pass 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Sorry, I just want to find out.
So, no problem. I can hear you.
How earliest would you send the link to this recording for today?
I think it's going to record maybe by this night. It should be available. You'll be able to watch it. Or if that's not feasible tomorrow, I'll sort it out because I'm still deciding if I'm going to have to upload it on YouTube or something. You get. So if I have to upload it, I think fine. Yes, but on YouTube, it's just you guys that will have access to it. So yes, exactly, so that you can be able to go over it. So now I want us to talk about our book review session. So what I feel is I've already started reading it. I'm already in like page 50. Some of the things that I'm seeing, I'm going to be introducing them. Like today, I introduced a quote. I'm going to introduce some of these things in our slides. But I want us to dedicate like the last day for me to do like a slide and walk us through what the book is about. Because I feel like it's good for us to like talk about, because I'm talking about the practical side. The book is talking about like the mindset, some of the mindsets that you need to have on your financial journey. So what do you think about that? Should we do it that way? Guys, should we do it that way? Should we have a dedicated session where I review the book? Or what other suggestions do you have for this? You guys are quiet.
Like, is it a one-on-one section or like a general section where we
No,
review
the book review is general, all of us. So what I'm suggesting is I can like create a slide with a summary of it so that on the 30th of November, we're going to have a session where I review it.
Yeah, that's calm.
I have something to say, Hafsat.
Right? Sure, please go ahead.
Do you know I didn't know this book was what we will be reviewing? You know, I sent it to you this morning.
You
I didn't
sent it
know.
to me. You have the hard copy.
I swear I didn't know. I got mine a hard copy for my birthday this year, and I've been wanting to read it.
Yeah, finally.
It's just a coincidence.
I have to borrow itself, but this is it. I have the hard copy, which means I might do a video too for you guys, but that might be at the end of it. What I'm proposing is I'll be introducing some of the things that I see in our slide, and maybe I might do some summary and share in advance, like just to keep us engaged in the group chat. But we're going to have like a class at the end. That's our 5th webinar. So you see, we're having a 5th webinar, and then we're going to have a review session. In fact, I'm trying to make it an open session so that maybe other people can also join for the book review. But yes, we're going to be reviewing this. It will be helpful to most of us. Do not like reading, but we'll read this one. So yes, that's it for our book review session. I provided the link. It is taking it to the link. So I'm going to also provide it's already on the group chat. So I'll send it again, but I can provide you with the link where you can just download it too, where you can easily download it. So it's available so that everybody can read it. And then finally, oh God, it is taking me there again because I added a link. All right. So give me a minute, please. Let me attend to my DOM. 1 minute. Sorry, guys. We came here for an event, so my friends are coming to check up on me. All right, so that is it. We're going to do the book review at the end of the bootcamp, the final session for the book review. Right now, everybody should book their slots. Book your slot. Everybody's doing a one-on-one. You are not avoiding it. And you know we're doing this twice. So we're going to do a budget review session, and we're going to do a financial goal review session, basically. So This is the time where we ask questions and I answer them. Let me stop sharing. So questions, comment. Are we gingered? Do we feel gingered? Aisha, where are you? Hello, Aisha.
Hi, I'm here with you. Sorry, there's a distraction. Sorry, not distraction.
No problem.
I'm listening
No
to you.
So what do you think about it? Will you be able to, have you populated yours or you'll be populating it anytime soon?
Yes, so I think I worked on it 2 days ago.
Okay.
But with this session, right, I have a clearer picture of how to go about it. So I'll do it before the next 1-to-1.
Okay. The tool is it's not difficult, it's not complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over it with you. So you book your slot that works for you. If it's night. But if you want, I think like on Wednesday, I don't have class. So if you, I don't know if anybody's available during the day and you want me to give you a better time that is convenient for you, let me know so that I can find time in my schedule, apart from the time you see on the calendar. Ifunanya, what about you? Do you have any question?
No, I don't have any question. I'll just have to populate my budget plan and then I'll pick a time. So,
all right, that works. Jamila, I hope you're going to finally have time to populate your budget. It's a must. We are not just watching or learning. We are going to practice it.
I think I have done mine.
Okay.
I shared with you.
I've
shared it with you already.
Yes, that's true. I'm going to share my email address now so that you guys will add me to the documents. Let me open my WhatsApp. So you add me to your budget so that I can review it during the call. And don't worry, it's just for the period of the bootcamp and maybe a month after the bootcamp. After that, I'm going to, you are the owner of it. So after that, you have your personal information. I'd have to be going through all of that. So don't worry, you're safe. Malik, how far? How is it going at your own end?
Sorry, it's good.
Oh, nice one. Unfortunately, Yusuf is having issue with his network. If not, Yusuf is so gingered for this class. I don't know why he can't make it today, but he's going to watch the video and most likely will be available for subsequent meetings. So, like I say, you're not the only guy here. Our money is neutral. So thank you so much for your participation. Khadija, any question?
No question from my end.
Thank
you so much. The class was so educative.
Thank you so much. Please fill this budget template. It's me and you this month. I have your time, all of your time. Elizabeth, your turn. What about you?
Yeah, I want to fill the budget, the template this night.
No, you have to do it this night, but you have to do it before our one-on-one. Before my
Okay, so I have to pick a day for the one-on-one class.
Yes, I will send the calendar link. You pick a date, but before that, please fill the form so that during the conversation, we don't have to spend too much time. Exactly. I'll just review and then we can discuss any other personal stuff.
Okay, so, that makes sense. No problem.
Right. So
thank you very much.
As fast as possible before you spend all your money.
That's calm.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So Yusuf, I know you're not online, but you're going to watch the recording. Please do the same thing. Bolanle, please do the same thing. Father, do the same thing, right? Mary Jane is not online, so please do the same thing. I'm going to be following up with you guys. So guys, I hope this was an insightful session for every one of us. This is not a webinar, this is a bootcamp. You can ask as many questions. I'm available in my DM. The group chat is very, very active. Please react, any question, anything, drop it immediately. I'm available. And I'll be doing a personal following up on everybody. I have my class log. Everybody that attended, we are marking present. I'll be following up with you guys. I'm your accountability partner for this journey. And it's a win-win for me. It's a win-win for both of us. I'm enjoying this experience and I want you to have the best of it. So thank you all so much.
Thank you for this class. Really,
All
really
right, I'm glad
insightful.
we enjoyed it. Oh, thank you. Oh, Aisha. All right, guys, let me stop recording.